for day 5 of the Manifest Your Soulmate Challenge. Welcome, everybody. We are live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and my podcast. All right, so when you jump on, say hi. Let me know. Hi. How are you? Let me know that you are here. Let me know that you can hear me and see me. All right. We already have people jumping on Instagram. So we have covered so much that I didn't even plan for us to cover. But the thing that I want you to know is that you can change everything and anything in your life. And we always think that these things are out of our control, right? We always think that this is the way it is and this is what we have to live with. But I promise you, we have to step into a new way of thinking. When you're on Say Hi, I can see someone's on Facebook. I'm so excited. So here's the thing. Only one person did her homework, I think. Let me just check real quick. Because I think, let me just check for messages real quick. Facebook is a little bit slow. Not pointing blame at all. Ah, okay. Phil is asking about if there's a live. Yes, there is a live. Okay. Let's see. Homework. Yeah, only one. So there is no drawing. Let's see. Leona. Yep. Okay. So she won. Which makes it... Hi. Yes. Thank God it is Friday. Thank God we made it through the 5-day challenge. Hi, Orlando. Nice to have you, right? Okay, so we have 2 people on Facebook, a couple people on Instagram. You guys have the power to change your life. But knowing how to change your life is the secret. It's what we've been covering, because we think that we just have to deal with what we get and that's just the way life is, and that's not. We have not been taught how life actually is, right? We have not been taught how life actually works, and so we tend to go to these thoughts that we aren't going to get what we want, and that's definitely not true. So when you pop on, even if you're on the replay, comment below what is your biggest takeaway, or what quote, what thing have I said that really stands out to you, because I'm curious what has been like your biggest aha, your biggest shift, because I really over-delivered, and I'm not sorry for that, because I know that every single one of you needed to hear every single thing that I have said. Okay, so Leona wins. She wins a 30-minute call with me, a bonus call on top of course, the boot camp. So, great job doing your homework and showing up, and more importantly, you doing your homework for yourself, right? You doing the work, because it is hard to do this type of work, because this is the mental work, and that is 100% the hardest work to do. So I wanted to go back to my story. I wanted to go back and talk about, okay, just making, oh, someone jumped on, say hi. Okay, we've been on for 7 minutes. Wow. Okay. I wanted to go back and talk about my story. Because when you're in it, what really got me was the concept of healing your past traumas, including the ones you thought you healed from before you can really move forward. Yeah. I love that. I love that because that, once you realize it, it's a huge aha moment. If you're not getting money, the money that you know is coming to you, like if you're struggling in your business, or you know that you should be at a higher paying job, or you know that you should not be working like to make ends meet, if you know that you're not getting what you want as far as money, as far as relationships, as far as healing in your body, then that 100% means that you need to go and heal something. And my healing video takes you through very specifically on what and how to go and heal that. And I've given in addition to, this 5-day challenge, I've given so much in that healing video that you can do a lot, but there's still a lot of times people come out with a lot of questions from that healing video, and we decide to work together and do even deeper work, right? So if you do not have what you want, there is healing that needs to be done. There is something that needs to be shifted, right? And you might be thinking it's my anxiety. Yeah, it's my procrastination. Yeah, it's my, these kind of weird things where you're just actually stopping yourself. But that is, underneath of all that is you being healed. You being healed, right? Because if you are putting something off and you're blocking yourself, it's because you're not healed. And it doesn't mean that you haven't done the work. You probably 100% have done the work and done healing work and done personal development work, and you know what I'm saying. But something specific has to be shifted. My takeaway is sometimes I can be scared of things going right because my comfort zone is dealing with problems. Yes. It's had me really looking inward to see what has had a snowball effect in blocking me from really getting what I want. Oh, you guys are killing it. I love it. Yeah. Definitely. And then we're going to go more into the depth in the boot camp, the Ultimate Manifesting Boot Camp, which again opens on Monday, and Leona's already in, and I have 3 other people that are like, I'm so in, let me get my shit together and send the money. So there's probably going to be about 4 people. It's going to be pretty small. We're going to keep it really tight-knit and very intimate so that you guys can get the attention and support that you guys are really looking for. And the other thing that I want to say about that is you can go, obviously this week we're talking about relationships and manifesting your soulmate, but when you go into the boot camp, you can go into it for business. You can go into it for your soulmate. You can go into it for manifesting money or manifesting your health. But what I want for you is to pick one thing that you're going to primarily focus on, right? So what is it that you want to manifest? Type that in the comments. That you're going to be primarily focusing on. And yes, you will be working on all the things, but I want you to have your focus like, okay, this is my primary thing. This is my primary goal. And this is what I'm going after. Because without that focus, if you try to manifest too much all at once while you're learning these techniques and learning the strategies and learning the little everything. Christine, you finally made it live. It's so good to see you. So good to see you. Everybody, Christine is on. Oh, it's so great to see you. So if you go into the Ultimate Manifesting Boot Camp, which I need to put a link in. If you go into the Ultimate Manifesting Boot Camp with, I'm going to manifest all the things, yes, you can do that. But it gets to be a lot for you, right? It gets to be a lot. And it's like spreading yourself too thin. Yeah, I can see that. I came here for manifesting my soulmate, but really my primary focus is in getting into my own place. You know what? I've had so many of my clients. Oh, my cat just grabbed my foot. I've never had her do that. I've had so many of my clients move out from their parents' house. One moved from New York, out of her living with her mom, to Florida. Several moved out, right? That's a big thing. So yeah, I love it. I love that goal. Because there's always things in your life that one thing has to happen first. So for me, the first thing that had to happen for me was I had to heal myself. I knew that I could not be emotionally available if I was in pain. I couldn't be emotionally available for myself or for Marco if I was sitting there in pain all the time and working on my health. And yes, we're going to always be working on everything, but I was like actually bedridden. So yeah, okay, I love that for you. I love that. That is, so money and moving out, I would say, for sure. So what do you guys want to manifest? Even if you're not joining the boot camp, if you're like, this is just not the right time for me, or, whatever your reason, don't say it's because you don't have money, because that's like anti-manifesting language. It's fine if it's not the right time, right? But I do want you guys to be working on manifesting and have this focus for the next 8 weeks. Whether it's with me or, on your own. So there's just been so many times when you're sitting there with a problem and you're looking at it and you think, and you're looking at all the reasons why it's so real and it's such a big problem. And the thing of it is there is already a version of you that's already moved out, that's already making the money that you want to be making, that's already manifested your soulmate. There is already a version of you that has all the things, right? But right now you're in it. You're so focused on the problem, and you're actually making that problem bigger, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And as it grows, this is all you can see. So what we do in the Ultimate Manifesting Boot Camp is we look at what these signs actually mean. And a lot of manifestors are like, watch the moon, and this is what the retrograde and the stars alignment, blah, 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 and pulling. No. I take real shit in your life, and I tell you why you're getting this thing, why you keep attracting unavailable partners, why you keep attracting this pain, why you keep attracting what you don't want, and what that actually means. And when you have each of these examples in your life, I can tell you how to flip that switch. And we're going to be going through step by step. I have an eight-step process that you can go down the list. Like, I'll actually put it in here in the chat. Hope that's it. No, that's not it. Let's see. Copy. Let me put an S at the end. Oh, don't do that. Oh, that's not it. I was not ready for that one. So there's an 8-step process that ASTES, that I use to manifest my health and manifest Marco and manifest money in my business, and I use it to manifest. So like every time something's not working, right? Because manifesting is a very woo process, but I'm a very logical person. So every time something's not working, I can go down this list and be like, okay, am I truly doing this? It's like a great checklist. But if if you're like, oh, I'm not going to do the boot camp, I'm just going to go off her checklist, that's not going to work, because you have to be able to read the signs and know how to interpret what you're getting. So a lot of people use astrology and card reading and pull that stuff and like, okay, this is what you need to focus on this month. No, I take what's actually happening in your life and where you actually need to heal so that you can make exactly 10K in your business this month. Like, I know I've done so many bodybuilding competitions, and I hire a coach, and she tells me exactly how many ounces of food that I need to eat at every single meal, of rice, of chicken, of, whatever I'm eating, eggs, whatever. She tells me exactly how much I need to eat, and we weigh in once a week. That's how this is. A lot of times you'll get into a coaching situation and your coaches will be giving you systems and strategies, and it's up to you to figure out how you want to. No, we go through, and there's going to be a weekly Q&A call. You're going to be in the group. You can ask questions all day, every day. I'm going to be in the group every single day answering questions. There's going to be a weekly training. You're going to get so much hands-on support. And there has never been a person that signed up for this that has not finished it. Right? Because that's how much accountability you have here. Obviously, I'm not going to force anyone to do something that they, like, if you like don't show up, that's on you. But there is accountability, and it's not like a regular course. So I did want to say that. So back to when I shifted, the week of May 31st, 2019. I was sitting there and I was looking at what, the signs that I had gotten, dating all these people that, like, I would not go on a second date with. And I'm like so easy to get along with, right? And I was like, I'm not, like, I've never had a bad date until 2019, right? It's 20 years of never having a bad date, right? And I just kept getting all these guys, and I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm not going to date. I'm not going to do this. And then, so that week of May 31st, I don't know what, exactly. But I sat there and I was like, oh, I'm getting all these people who I don't want to commit to because I don't believe in commitment. I don't believe in marriage. But I did not know that I did not believe in marriage. Right? And, this might be triggering you where you're like, oh, yeah, maybe I don't either. Like, it might be bringing something up for you. But the things that I've said on this live, on this week, are only like a sliver of what I have to teach, right? There's only so much that I can kind of tell my story, and then you can see yourself, and then you can kind of like pick through that. So I was sitting there and I was like, oh shit, I need to believe in marriage. And suddenly I wasn't afraid, which I had always been afraid. And I wasn't afraid. I was fully trusting. I was like, okay, I believe in marriage then. And then I wrote in my journal, and this is what everyone always wants to know. What did you write in your journal? And I wrote that I was so grateful to be married to Marco. Like, in the present tense, I was already married, and I freaked the fuck out, closed that journal, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm manifesting. This is what people talk about when they talk about manifesting. So I was like, okay, what do I got to do now? And I could feel like I was nervous and excited, and I was like, okay, I've got to meditate. And this is how I did it, okay? If you guys are taking notes, take notes. I turned on Pandora, and I listened to wedding music for 4 days. And I visualized us on the beach, him proposing. I visualized us on the beach, us getting married. I've married him so many times. I don't, like, maybe 1,000,000 times. I don't know. Like, I know what that feels like. I already know what that feels like because I've done it so many times. And I stayed there for 4 days, and I just stayed in my hammock, which was in the dining room at one point. And I ate and I meditated for 4 days, and it was like the most amazing experience I've had in my life. And I'm like, you know, if real life doesn't add up to this, I'm just gonna stay here, right? And on the 4th day, he came over, and he's like, hey, Nichole, what are you doing today? Can I come over? And I was like, sure. Okay. And I was like, okay, be careful, you know, boundaries. And he came over, and he was like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. He said, wherever you go, I'm going to go with you. And I was like, is this real? Is this real? And I still, like, you can tell, like, I'm still like, wow, how did this happen? And then I went back after that happened, and I went back and I wrote this document, the 8 steps to manifest, because I had to know, what did I do to make this happen? And literally, if you go through and you are like, say you're trying to manifest $10,000 in your business over the next week, right? I do recommend that you join the boot camp first, but second of all, if you already know enough about manifesting, maybe you've been following me for a couple years or whatever, or been in some of my other courses, say you're going to try to manifest $10,000 in your business, you go through these 10 steps, and you look and you see, what are you not doing, right? What shifts do you need to make? And it tells you. But if you're just looking at the sheet, right, from an outsider's point, it looks like basic shit. But if you really know and understand each step, you know how to decipher if you're doing this or not, or if you're doing it correctly. The other thing is, if you're not getting what you want, if you keep trying to manifest 10K in a week, which is so fucking easy, honestly. It really is. If you own a business, and especially if you're a coach with transformation, right? That's easy. So it's about applying these things to your life. So I wrote these 8 steps because that's what I did to heal myself. That's what I did to manifest Marco. That's what I did to manifest money in my business. But the other caveat to it is it's not always that easy. I mean, you guys probably can look at the 8 steps and say, I know this. And if you look at the 8 steps and you're like, I know all these steps, and it's still not working, it means that you have not mastered these 8 steps. Okay? It's very simple, right? This is the key to not only getting your soulmate, but to getting every single thing that you want in your life. Money, happiness, healing, health, everything. Everything. And I'm going to be honest, it's still hard for me to fully embody all of this. I'm still learning, and it's been 3 years. So give yourself grace. Give yourself grace and open up to receiving this abundance. Because there was a time when I just wanted things to be hard on myself. I wanted to stay in the journey, in the struggle, because the journey is fun, you know? You learn a lot, you have a lot of growth, but a lot of people stay in the journey. How many years do you feel like you've been in this journey for manifesting your soulmate, or, you know, whatever journey you want to, like, how many years? Put that down in the comments. How many years of your personal development journey have you been in? And you still have not gotten what you wanted, right? That does not need to happen. You can start allowing yourself to receive these things. First is knowing how to, you know, manifest, how to work through these steps. And I mean, you know, some people do manifesting and they have like 3 steps over a year. Yeah. Wait, yeah, that's over a year. Right. Yeah. I was struggling with my health where I was really actively working to heal myself for 9 months. Marco was a little over a year, and my business, it's that's hard to say. It's a growing thing, right? Yeah. But there, you know, everything is a growing process, right? Once you know how to flip the switch, then it gets to be fun, actually. You start looking at things and you're like, okay, this bad thing happened to me. What does that mean? What do I need to change? Right? Oh God, this is gonna be so great. You guys, it's just gonna feel so good to understand how to change everything in your reality. Everything. Like, you'll never be like, oh, I don't know how to get that thing that I want, that I desire, right? I mean, there's always going to be, like, next steps, and, like, people have hired me after the Ultimate Manifesting Bootcamp because there's more growth. But you'll really understand how life works. You know, and Tony Robbins and Joe Dispenza, and, like, if you're a big personal guru person, you've probably already been learning some of these things, and they don't call it manifesting. The reason I call this, and, like, some people call it a mindset, like high-level performer mindset stuff. But the reason I call it manifesting is when you get it, it pops in so fast. Right? Who wants fast results? Who wants, like, it to just pop? Like, when I healed myself, it was one day. When I manifested Marco, it was one day. It was like, wow, I'm super powerful. I had no idea that I had this power in me. And, you know, people talk about, like, you have the power to choose. You have the power inside of you. Like, yeah, but, like, how? How? This is the how. This is, like, the 5-day challenge is basic fundamental, and then all the freebies is pretty, like, the freebies are to get you a good, like, running start so that you can go into that next step, right? To start getting momentum, see if you like me, see if you like the way that I teach, see if you can work with me, which Obviously, all of you can. Bill, there you are. There you are. All of you can work with me because you guys have all been here every day. You guys aren't annoyed by the sound of my voice. I've had people where I was like, I can't listen to that person. So you guys already know, like, that's what free stuff is for, like, to really figure out if you jive with what I'm teaching you, right? Figure out my methods and see if that really connects with you. There's been coaches where I'm like, they're so great. I know they're good at what they do, but their method, I'm not doing that shit. That's not bad, but it's just not for me. And that's fine too, but what I want for all of you is to get the most you can out of any time that you spend with me, whether it's, listening to my podcast or, hey, Steve, listening to my podcast or watching my lives or, whatever. I want you guys to be growing and really understand that you are choosing to be where you are. Now, I have this very weird take on homelessness, because I was homeless and I lived with homeless people. And after a month of living there, I realized that they were choosing to be homeless. And the more I think about that, the more I think that, and not everyone chooses to be homeless. Like some people, there's mental illnesses, and there's like sometimes people go through a hard time or whatever. But oh gosh, yeah, I'm so sorry. Hi, Cindy. Were you just getting here? I thought you were on a little bit earlier. No, you weren't. Okay. So good to see you. So I chose to be homeless. I chose to eat out of dumpsters. And I chose it not only in in a conscious way, but I chose it subconsciously, right? I chose it both ways. Looking back, I realized how angry I was at money, right? And so we're doing this kind of thing with relationships. We are choosing to stay in relationships that are toxic or that don't serve us. And we're choosing this on a conscious level, but a lot of this choice is subconscious, right? A lot of this subconscious choice, I look back at my marriage or even my last relationship, and I was like, ooh, I was not good in that relationship at all. Like I feel like I was not a good person, even though at the time I thought I was doing all the things and, I thought I was doing it right. But we create everything. We create the situation we're in. We create the struggle with money, the struggle with relationships, because as much as we want to be intimate with someone, and I experienced this even after I manifested Marco, as much as I wanted to be intimate with him, I was like, oh, this is also freaking scary to be that intimate with someone. And I've never been at this level with anyone ever before. Because I've really allowed him in. And that was a process, and that's like I had to do a lot more work, not only to manifest him, but to let him in at that deep level. Right? So it's about stripping away your fears, your subconscious fears, and deciding to actually be here. So like, that's why I don't believe in the whole, I don't have the money, or I don't have the resources, I don't have the time. Like, I know that I was there where I didn't have the money, right? Where I didn't have the resources. But I've also gotten to the other side of that, and I look back and I was like, I was fucking lying to myself. I figured it out. I got the resources. I had the money. I just had a very poor mindset, not only with money, but with relationships. I just was like I wanted to be intimate, but I was like, also, don't fucking get near me. Right? And I think we all have that. We crave this intimacy, but we also fear it. And that's what we need to strip away. And that, again, everything of mine builds on top of each other. I have the freebies, the 5-day challenge, the 8 steps to manifest, the healing video. And then I have, you can work with me at the Ultimate Manifesting Bootcamp, which starts on Monday. And then you can also work with me privately. There's so many different levels that you should be able to grow where you are, right? But if you've already done a lot of personal development work, the freebies aren't really going to get you anywhere. If you're just starting now, the freebies will get you so far, but you got to keep going. It's like I've invested over $200,000 in personal development work and coaching. And I'm not saying that you have to, but you've got to invest that amount of time and energy, whether it's like going to seminars and reading books and doing all of that, whatever level you're at. But here's the thing. I want you guys to get this. And I want you guys to type this in. I can change my life. I can change my life. Because I promise you, there's no place that you have been or are that you can't change. So I want you guys to type that in. I can change my life. You've got to know that power. You've got to understand that power. And that's what I want to give you, the tools to be able to change anything in your life. Because if you don't have that power, if you don't know how to do that, that's when people get depressed, have anxiety, have stress, procrastinate. That's when these sort of like mental health issues start coming up because you feel like you're the victim, and we're not. I crave intimacy too, but came across as being needy. Yeah, neediness is needing to be healed. We will work on that. I can change my life. I am changing my life. I can change my life. Yes. Yes. So there's some of you that still have not gotten a call with me. If you want a call, then send me a DM. Make sure you book a call with me. It's 15 minutes. It's not a sales call. I will ask you if you're interested in the boot camp, and if you are, then great. If not, I will ask you at the end of it if you have any questions, because I want to make sure that you're in it if you need to be. But I do genuinely love every single one of you, and I genuinely want to meet every single one of you, mostly so that when the next opportunity comes up to work with me or a freebie or whatever, I can reach out to you and say, hey, you were interested in this. You were interested in money mindset, which we're doing a money mindset workshop next week. Every single one of you better be on here next week, starting on Wednesday. It's in the middle of the day, though. It's in the middle of the day. So like basically so that we can actually have a relationship and I can steer you in the direction, give you, help. I do give as much free resources as possible. That's why I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all the things, right? Because I know how powerful my message is. I know I was in my 20s. I don't know if I told you guys this. I hope you guys have time for a little story. I was in my 20s, and I was married. And the thing that made me wake up was my mom called me one day, and she was 47, and she said that she had cancer. And this was after my dad had left, after she claimed bankruptcy from him leaving. She finally had cancer, and then she never made it to her 48th birthday. And just watching her be without him, watching her, knowing that she did not know how to navigate that relationship, right? Knowing, like, even though she was kind of a relationship coach, watching her be alone, it just killed me. And I was like, I'm living the same life that my mom was living, where I was married and alone. And I was done. And that's what made me leave. That's what made me wake up and say, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not going to live another day. I don't know what's right for me, but I know that this is not right. And so I needed to go figure it out. And really, that journey was not about leaving him. That journey was about figuring out my relationship patterns, figuring out why my relationship stuff didn't work, right? It's never about leaving the person or, knowing your worthiness and leaving that person, right? Like, it's not about that. It's about loving yourself to go and do the work, right? And that's what we're here to do. We're here to love ourselves enough to do the work. You deserve everything that your heart desires. You deserve money. You deserve a relationship. You deserve health and happiness. 100%. And that is possible for you. Right? So that's what I want. That's my message. That's what I want to give to everyone, because I know the mental health issues that come about through broken relationships or not knowing how to change things in your life, right? So, all right. Let's say thank you to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm so glad you were on this week. I'm so glad that we got to spend 5 hours-ish together. So Leona won because she did all the homework. I did do a drawing once before when we had 500 people in here, and there was like a lot of homework coming at me. But since she's the only one, so she gets the free call with me, which we will set up very short, probably this, I'm going to set that up with you this weekend. Okay, I'm going to reach out to you. And then I am going to send you an email tonight with the replay. If you guys have any questions, thoughts, whatever, concerns, I have some more, send me a DM. But I have some more info about the Ultimate Manifesting Bootcamp in my Facebook stories, in my Instagram stories, if you want to check that out. Again, if you need a call, if you're like, I have a couple more questions about the boot camp, send me a message, okay? I love you guys very much, and I will, you're so welcome. And I will see you guys next week in the Money Boot Camp. If you need a link to that, let me know. Okay, deal. Looking forward to it. Me too. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all of you. This was a lot. Okay, love you guys. Bye.